All right, let's get into it.
Well, did that match?
That match.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Scott's not here today, boys and girls. We have Dave filling in for him.
Stunt Stash.
Yep. I'm John. We still have Justin, producer extraordinaire. And this is the Warfighter Tobacco Podcast.
Woo.
Thank you for tuning in.
Giggity.
So before we started recording, we always go over a little bit of current events, whether it's in the cigar industry or just the current world in general. And usually there's like one or two good things that we can talk about that either relate to something that we do or the cigar industry or just something that's unique and interesting. Not today. Not really. It really isn't, which is a good thing. The whole shock and awe news cycles, either that or I'm just...
I believe we'll call that no news, good news.
Yeah.
You're just becoming numb to
That's it.
John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I'm over exposed to news, and now I'm just like, yeah, that's not that, whatever.
This 24-hour news cycle needs to go away anyway.
But Justin had a couple things that he brought up that we were talking about, and I was like, you know what, record this because this is a good one. What was that headline that you saw? Firearms instructor shoots himself. Or
that would make
shoots himself trying to sell a firearm.
Not even that. Man accidentally shoots himself while selling handguns. So apparently a gentleman, police got to the scene and the gentleman was showing his brother-in-law a pistol he was going to sell him and accidentally shot himself. I have not made it through the rest of the story. I just read the headline and
I can tell you what happened. I'm willing to bet that it was a Glock.
I'm scoping through right now to try to see.
But even if it wasn't, I'll walk you through the series of events that happened in order for him to do this. Because I've seen it done firsthand. I don't even know. Probably a dozen times. Like no bullshit. Like I've seen, luckily in my cases, I haven't seen somebody injure themselves.
Yeah.
But it was close. But they forget. All they do is forget. They rack the slide. They drop the magazine. They squeeze the trigger.
Yep.
Bang. And then they're like, what happened? How did this happen? I cleared the gun. Well, in theory, you went through the correct steps. They just weren't in the correct order.
Which is very important.
Right steps, wrong sequence.
The first time I saw that happen was an officer in the United States Army. But I watched him do it 3 times in a row.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, I think
we told this story years ago on a different podcast. But yeah, he walked up to the clearing barrel, rack, drop, bang. Looked at the gun, looked in the clearing barrel, and was like, "What the hell?" Put the magazine back in, rack, drop, bang, and I was just like, "No." And he looked at the gun again, put the mag back in, rack, drop, bang, and I was just like, "Son of a bitch." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm like, hey sir, you need some help with that?" I was like, God.
What's amazing is that he put the magazine back in the gun. To clear a weapon, you don't need to insert a magazine.
No, but preferably you don't do
that.
But that's he's probably falling back on routine procedure, which is rack the slide, drop the mag. So I got to put the mag back in so I can rack the slide and drop the mag.
It's so funny. But yeah.
That's officers go, but the book says I got to do this. Well,
oh my God. We've always done it that way.
Yeah.
No, sir. I beg to differ. But yeah, and in regards to like the gun store side of it, before we started Warfighter, Scott had a gun store called Silence Your Headquarters, and I worked there. Dave worked there, and I can't tell you how many times that whether a customer needed a firearm looked at or worked on or Cerakote or whatever it is, and they just hand me a gun.
Loaded.
Not like with the mag out, slide lock to the rear, pistol grip facing me as he's handing it to me. Nope. They just hand me a loaded gun, sometimes pointing it at me. Like I can't tell you how many firing pins or bullets I've seen down the end of a barrel in the gun store.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's... At first, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And then it was just like, hey, can you not flag me, please?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, but my finger wasn't on the trigger. Mm-hmm. Don't fucking care.
It's like, I don't care.
I I pride myself in that because like even when I was taking pictures today and I grabbed one of the rifles out of the arms room and it's one of the ones that I use all the time. It's never loaded, but it's still like as soon as it comes off the wall, it's just like, all right, yep, it's clear. I'll grab a magazine for the picture. I always check and make sure there are no bullets in it. And I don't understand how people that's not the first step anytime a firearm is handed to you.
I brought a pistol in today to put a new magazine catch in.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it in without a magazine in it. And I took it out of the bag I brought it in, and I still checked to make sure that fucking thing was clear.
Yeah.
Like,
I have 2 guns under my desk. One of them I've never shot. I've never even put a magazine in it.
Yeah.
Right? No, not once. Every time I pick that gun up, I still clear it.
Yeah.
It's better to build that muscle memory.
Yeah.
Every single gun that you handle, whether it's your own, somebody else hands it to you, make sure it's clear. Or loaded.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter either way. I was at the ranch this past weekend. We'll go grab some guns, cruise around in the buggies, side by side. So we get back, we just park them, go inside, do whatever, come back out. You know, it's very fluid. A lot of movement, a lot of stuff going on, right? Every time I get back in that buggy, I check my firearms.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple reasons. One, if I come on a pig and I got to pull that trigger, there better be a round in that chamber. But 2, I need to know the state that firearm is in.
Yeah.
You know, like I need to, it doesn't change how I handle that gun, but knowing, you know what I mean? Like I'm still, whether it's loaded or empty, I still treat it the same way. I still point it the same way. I still carry it the same way.
I think people have forgotten the number 1 rule of firearm safety.
Treat every firearm like it's loaded.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if it is or isn't. Always treat it like it's loaded. Number 2. Never pointed at anything you're not willing to destroy.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Number 3 is my favorite, especially in Texas. Know your target and what's behind it.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's people in Texas, they'll send rounds at an animal. And I'm like, hey, man, you should probably let them go like another 50 yards because there was a house back there.
Yep.
You know, like.
Yeah. Well, you know, the couple of times that I've gone with you, you know, what do I always ask you?
What's back there?
What's back there? What's my field of fire?
Exactly.
You know, because I don't know where I'm hunting.
Yeah.
And you do.
Yeah. The beautiful thing, and at first I thought it was, I don't know, it was cool and I didn't know how to use it. And so it was more just user error than anything else. There's an app, it's called Onyx. And they do it for a bunch of different things. And mind you, they don't sponsor us. This isn't anything paid or anything like that. I use it for hunting because it can also act as an offline map that uses GPS. But it has a satellite version where it has up-to-date, accurate satellite imagery of wherever you're at, or very similarly or close to up-to-date. So if you're hunting somewhere new, that gives you a chance to be able to learn what's around you.
Okay.
Without having to scope it all out. You just look on the map and be like, oh, shit, yeah, there's a house that's 300 yards that way, but it's behind a tree line. You know, without walking over there, you never would have seen it.
Yeah.
Like I get a shitload of waypoints in there and they're all blinds. I can't remember names. I know where they're at. I just don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
Tales of the Gun Store.
Oh, my God.
Was that like a rule? Like if someone brought a firearm in, like
I always make sure it's unloaded.
Always, yeah.
Always.
And then were y'all the only one? Like y'all had to handle it. I'm assuming after that. Like,
so we had very lax rules. We had adult rules, big boy rules, right? Like we were very, very much so like teaching through embarrassment.
It's a very effective tool.
It really is, and especially like firearms are very unforgiving.
Yeah.
If you have an accident, there's catastrophic damage somewhere, whether it's property or life.
People.
You know, like accidents aren't good in the firearms. So, you know, if I put you on the spot and I make you feel a certain way because you fucked up, maybe you won't fuck up again. You know, and it's not like I'm doing it because I'm like, oh man, you parked in the parking lot and one of your tires is on the line, so I'm going to be a dick to you.
Yeah.
No, you pointed a gun at my face. Like I'm kind of going to be a dick to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you should know better.
Well,
like,
and that's the thing. Like you're walking into an established firearms store and you're more often than not your upper part of 50, you know, anywhere from like mid 40s up to 50. So hopefully you've been
Right.
around guns for the last 25 years or better. So you should fucking know better.
Yeah. You know, but we did teach classes. Like we did
Yeah.
CCW classes. We did basic and advanced pistol and rifle. And, you know, like that's pretty much the number one thing that we cover in every class that we teach. We go over firearm safety right out the gate. And then we go forward with everything else. Obviously, with your CCW, you lean a little bit more into the safety side of things. You know, where basic pistol, basic rifle, you cover a little bit of that, but you go into more techniques.
Well, and if you bought something from us too, we offered the opportunity. It's like, look, if this is, you know, if you're brand new to this brand and this pistol has been out 3 months, we'll be more than willing to give you, you know, a quick 30-second, hey, this is how you tear it down. This is how you field strip, yada, so on and so forth.
Same thing if this is is your first firearm, like you got a minute? Okay, cool. Let me go over some stuff with you real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like we'd really try to set them up for success. It wasn't like we were trying to screw anybody over.
No, if they leave with a smile on their face and it comes time to buy gun number 2, chances are they're coming back to us.
Yeah. But you know, if it's your 5th or 6th firearm you bought from us and you're still doing shit like that, you know. Like I was joking around one day. A customer came in, that, you know, shit like that happened. They left, and I joking around with Scott, and I'm like, "Is it acceptable if I just pull mine and point it at them?" You know what I mean? Like,
you point yours at me, I'll point mine at you. Yeah.
Because we all carried, we were all armed.
Yeah. we had a safe word. We had a safe word because the way that the shop was set up was we had.
The safe word's still valid here.
Yeah.
Only a couple of us know it. You're in the back, so if we hear you yelling it, you might actually.
I'm on my own at that point.
That's run across the hall and find what you can find.
Yeah.
But the way it was set up was we had storefront, and then we had a non-load bearing wall that separated the storefront
It was like
from
a 3/4 wall.
Yeah, it was.
We had really tall ceilings.
Yeah, you know, it was old time like small town America bank. That had been renovated into a storefront. So you had like 25, 30-foot ceilings. And there were probably several machine guns on the other side of the wall. And yeah, like if we ever got robbed, we were told to shout the safe word, hit the fucking deck.
So, Justin, you got a couple guesses on the. Do you know the safe word?
I don't.
Okay. So you have a couple guesses. What would you guess? Now, I'll give you the parameters that we had when we picked the safe word.
Okay.
It has to be a word that isn't going to be said in a gun store.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm not going to lie. My initial go-to is penis.
Oh, no, that was a daily word.
I'll go.
You're close.
Oh, I'm close?
Ish.
Is it?
It's relatable in a general sense.
I mean... Well,
is it eggplant?
No.
Am I getting colder?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it seltzer?
Mm-mm.
Damn. Fuck.
Okay. Got 3 guesses.
Yep.
Dave, go ahead, let them know.
Out.
Tampon.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Just redact that.
Yep.
You leave it in there. I don't give a shit. You come in here yelling that, guns coming blazing. I don't recommend it. Yep.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So if we're ever out drinking and you hear me or Scott and we're joking around,
Just
tampon.
just hit the deck.
That's what we're joking about.
Oh.
Because I know we've said it a couple times out in public, and him and I are dying, and we look around, and I'm like, oh yeah, nobody else knows.
That's a good one for a gun store right there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, essentially, if you weren't in the office, then you were making one with the earth.
Yeah.
Because whoever's in the office is coming out just slinging lead.
Yep.
Yeah.
That security footage would be fucking legendary of just like one of y'all hands up, mouth moves, hit the deck.
Yeah, and then
other one
the
just-
guys in the office all of a sudden grab machine guns and stack on the wall. And then they push the corner and it just all hell breaks loose.
Yes. Oh.
Well, and we didn't have a single display in that building that was over 5 foot tall either.
Yeah, in the center now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was fucking game on.
Yeah. We did a lot of the design on that was done on purpose.
Yeah.
We mitigated a lot of theft.
Yeah. It's just good line of sight.
Yeah.
If you were standing behind the counter, you could see everything.
Oh,
There was no blind spots.
No.
Yeah.
The good old days. One of the things that would have made that cooler is if we could have smoked in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a good setup. We had
Yeah.
good layout. Lots of inventory.
Yeah. Well, and that was back when, like, we kept inventory on hand. Like, not, I mean,
If you don't have it, you can't sell it.
There was- well, I was for giggles, I was scrolling through because the old Instagram is still alive. And like I was scrolling through and I saw the day.
Half the shit that was on the walls, if I had it today.
Oh,
man.
Well, it's like the 200 Anderson lowers that we bought that day.
And sold them for $33 a piece.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And that was like, people are like, oh man, that's kind of expensive right now.
Yeah.
We're like, I know.
Yeah.
Well, if you get 10 of them, I'll give you $3 off. So you can get 30 a lower. Okay, I'll do 10.
Yeah.
People literally come in and buy 10 lowers at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It
hilarious.
was nuts.
TK hated us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And that was when you bought the stamp.
I did. I ordered a bunch of stuff so I could just stamp the logbooks. 'Cause we didn't do digital. We didn't trust
Yeah.
any of that yet.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Like, those were good fucking times.
it's just the little shit. Like I remember I found a Mac 10 and we ended up buying it and then selling it. And I think we bought it for like $2,800.
Yeah.
I think we sold it for $3,500. And we were like, that was good.
Yeah. And
They go for $12,000 now.
yeah. Yeah. They're 10, 12 grand.
Yeah. I'm just like, fuck. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Yeah. It's
Like I wish I could have got my hands on every drop-in Autosphere I could find because they've like tripled in price.
yeah.
Yep. Hindsight.
Oh, it's always 2020, man. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
But they
didn't.
are, speaking of guns and
Yeah.
firearm stuff, and if you made it this far, I apologize that we hijacked our cigar podcast talking about firearms. But in that big, beautiful bill that passed the House, and I don't even know where it's at in the Senate right now. I've been off the grid for a little bit. In that is the Hearing Protection Act, which removes suppressors from the NFA registry.
So I got a little more information on that.
Yeah.
It turns out that it just removes the tax. It doesn't remove them from the registry. According to, I think it was FPC or somebody shared a short video about it, but it sounds like they just removed the tax. So you're still doing the application, you're still doing the Form 4, you're still doing the 4473, you're still waiting, which, I mean, granted, the e-files nowadays, cool, 2 weeks, whatever. Like my first suppressor took me 9 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
I mean, I still know people that like, well, Jared's one, and I think his was like 17 months to get his can. But that was at the height of it. When before 41F was, when it was still 41P, that was just terrible.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So 41F, all that did was change how we submitted for a suppressor. It didn't prevent anybody from getting it.
No.
The only major thing that it changed is previous to that change, and when was that? That was
2017? 16, 17?
I think it's somewhere in there. So previous to that, if you filed for filed your Form 4 for a suppressor, short barrel rifle, machine gun, any of the NFA items, and you were using a trust, the trust technically owned the item, and none of the people in the trust went through background checks. The person who picked it up, once it was approved, went through a background check when they filled out their 4473.
Yeah.
But other than that, nobody else that could legally possess the item in the trust went through a background check. So they closed that loophole with 41F. They added what's called a responsible person's questionnaire, and anybody that's in the trust that can legally possess the firearm or suppressor, whatever it is, it's considered a firearm, for lack of better words. Serialized item that's an NFA item that belongs to the trust. Anybody who's in the trust that can access that now has to go through a background check.
Yeah.
The maths.
Yeah.
People lost their fucking mind.
Well,
we're never going to be able to buy these again.
Yeah. Well, and then it pissed off a lot of people too, because Joe Bob had gone the trust route because he had him and his brother Jimmy over on the other side of you know, so everybody that had to do it had to come in and do fingerprints and photos as well, which was an addition.
Yeah. The good thing though is it forced the industry to
adapt.
Yeah. And they did a decent job at it. We did it in-house.
Yeah.
We went and we got fingerprint machines and things set up to be able to take passport-sized pictures, and we digitized everything. We created our own internal database. We stored all the customer information. So once they came in and did everything once, they never had to come into the store again. We could do everything else via DocuSign, email, or whatever.
Yeah.
They only had to come in and pick it up. And it was great. Well, now they have that almost everywhere.
Yeah.
But there's a couple major shops that run the systems that do it.
I mean, what we were doing 10 years ago is what Silencer Shop does now.
Yeah.
You know?
But we were just doing it on our local level instead
of a nationwide base.
Well, because then at the time they were a distributor.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So we could buy from them.
Yeah.
And then they started putting these little kiosks in all these shops.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not going to get into the details and all that because it'll bore you guys to death because most people don't care or understand.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it was one-sided. It did not lean in favor of the gun store.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit different. But yeah. Well, that's why I go to Capitol Armory in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. Well, getting back to cigars, what are you about to kill there?
I am. Oh shit! This goes out tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, boys and girls, we have the 1st of June coming up, and that means we are running our redacted special. Any 5 cigars you purchase on the website, you get 1 free redacted cigar. Any 10 cigars, you get 2, 15, 3, you get a box, you get 4. You buy 100 boxes, and we give you 400 cigars. That's good math. Wow.
So don't email us and ask us if I buy 10, do I get 2? Because that's the way that works.
But yeah, so no code needed. You don't need to add anything, extra products or anything like that to your cart. Just get your normal cigars that you love, and we'll add some redacted cigars in there with it. While that is going on, if you're in Colorado, Scott will be at 3D Cigars in Colorado Springs, and he will be at El Cid's.
Let's see, this goes out tomorrow, so he'll be there tonight.
At El Cid's.
Yes.
And then 3D's is Saturday, Colorado Springs. So if you're local to Colorado and listening to this, he has redacted cigars with him. So
hint.
If you get a large enough team together, you might be able to overtake him, but you didn't hear that from me. Sorry, Scott. Love you.
Scott's going to get on the podcast next week and be like, I got jumped in Colorado. All they wanted was the redacted cigars.
Well, how'd that happen? Like, so you don't listen to the podcast.
Should be a good time. 3Ds is
always fun.
Awesome show.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm finishing up one of our redacteds because we actually just filmed a little redacted video for social media for June 1st. But I'm about to light up a night shift after that. We just got a restock.
Yeah.
We have a huge restock that's inbound right now. So just for all the listeners, everybody that's out there, typically our trade show season was July.
Yeah.
Right. The past 2 years, they bumped it. It was earlier in the year. I think it was March this year? April?
April
May?
this year. I think last year it was the end of March. I think they bumped it 2 weeks.
Yep. And so essentially right now our inventory levels are sitting a little low because we had a good trade show. So we had to kick out a lot of orders and kick out a lot of cigars. And our shipments weren't our shipment. We get monthly shipments from our factory in Nicaragua. Our shipment last month would include everything that we thought we were going to get on it, for lack of better words. We thought we were getting multiple pallets, and we got 4 individual boxes. Then it was
which should have been like 5 boxes.
Where's the rest of the cigars? But so then we found out that we had some production delays, banding and packaging, and post trade show, everyone's trying to get everything out of everywhere. And so it's kind of chaotic. Same with pre-trade show.
Yeah.
You fast forward to like October, we have no bottlenecks or nightmares to deal with. But yeah, so we should have another shipment that should be landing next week. And hopefully we will be restocked and everything that we are out of stock on right now, which isn't that much, but it's more than we normally have.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign. That means people love our cigars and they keep buying the shit out of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, the shipment that's coming up here soon will have some of that new hotness wrapped around the cigars.
Yeah, I think
everything's new packaging.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look super sweet.
Yes.
But yeah. What else do we got coming up? We got a Virginia event.
Yeah, what, 2 weeks?
Maybe 3. I can't remember right now.
It's 29th today, 28th today.
Yeah. The 21st.
So 3 weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the weekend after that, I'll be in St. Roberts outside of Fort Leonard Wood.
Yep. Doing an event.
Yep.
So these are all the different places you can get your redacted cigars. When I'm in Virginia, I'll be at Historic Smoke, Culpeper, Virginia. Dave, where are you going to be?
I'll be at St. Roberts, Missouri. It's the Office Bar and Lounge. It's right outside of Fort Leonard Wood. So if you're going down there for a kid's graduation or anything, yep. So I'll be down there with those guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep, all these are chances to get redacted cigars.
Yeah. And you won't have to wait for the post office to maybe do their job to get them to you. Yeah, I'll apologize right in advance for that because the post office has been not exactly exemplary right now.
Right.
So, like, I know we hear about it from you guys regularly, but if you order from the website and it says 3 to 4 days, just add 3 or 4 more just to be on the safe side. Like, it's going to take 6 or 7 days to get to you, and it really doesn't matter where you are.
They just kind of do their own thing.
They really do. Like, I send stuff to Nebraska, and it hangs out in Chicago for a day or two.
Yeah, sometimes.
So
we got like 90% of the time, everything works how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
10% of the time, it's just like, what happened?
yeah, I mean,
like, how did
my favorite is still the one that we shipped to Pittsburgh that spent a week in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not just a couple of days. It spent like a full week in Hawaii.
Oh, I had a fun experience this past weekend. Speaking of cigars, I was going through my pictures because I was like, I know I had stuff to talk about. So friends of ours, the Womacs that have the ranch down in South Texas, they had a baby last year, last September. So leading up to that, I got one of our mutual buddies, Mike Harmon, some of our cigars, and he got some It's a Girl cigar bands, custom made, and he was going to put the bands on and then present them, and we were all going to hang out and smoke them. Well, this past weekend was the first time that we were all together and remembered to smoke the cigars since the baby was born. And so they bust out the cigars. We all go out on the porch and we light them up. And I can't remember who. Somebody asked me, like, what cigar is this? And I looked at it and I was like, it's been a minute. I don't know. And they're like, what? And I'm like, let me smoke a little. I'll let you know. And they're like, okay. It was a San Andreas cigar.
Was it really?
But because I haven't had one in so long, I was like, what the fuck did I give them? It probably took me like almost to the finishing the first third to be like, oh, wait, I got it, guys. And mind you, this is also at, I don't even know, 10 o'clock at night. I probably already smoked like 6 or 7 cigars that day, like wasn't paying attention or thinking in any way, shape, or form that I'd have to figure this out right now.
You're probably 12 Bud Lights deep.
I think I switched to whiskey at that point.
Oh, yeah. So you're fighting an uphill battle.
Right?
Well, not only that, it's probably been a hot minute since you've had one of those San Andreas too.
Exactly. And so like I'm getting all these flavor notes and like my Rolodex is spinning, but like I pulled that card and put it in like a different Rolodex. You know what I mean? So it's like,
this is a save for later.
Yep. It's just going and going and going and not stopping on anything. And I'm like, I fucking know this, but why can't I pick this out right now? And then I was just like, oh yeah.
Switch to that other one.
Yeah.
I actually recently smoked At the golf tournament 2
Yeah.
weekends ago. I pulled one of the old San Andreas out and
Nice.
smoked that, and it was one of those like I lit it up and was like, oh fuck yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
this
a
is
minute.
delicious.
Yeah, this is good.
Yep. Yeah. No, that was I'm excited when we can finally bring that back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great stick.
It really is. It really is.
So
Yeah. Let's see, what else did I miss in life? It was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
We actually, this year, we got a bunch of messages and a couple of emails that came through. People asking if we were running a Memorial Day sale.
Yeah.
So in years prior, some of the early years of Warfighter, we did a couple, just in full transparency. It was kind of one of like, I don't even know how to properly word the thought process behind it, because our thought process now is a lot different. At the time, it was just something that everybody was doing, and we did it. And then one year we were talking about it, and we were like, you know what? Like, that's not what this weekend is for.
Yeah.
Where, Memorial Day weekend isn't a weekend that we're going to use in capitalistic ways. And so from that year forward, we pretty much dedicated Memorial Day weekend to nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we're not turning anything off or, anything like that. We're going to celebrate it our own way. We're not going to celebrate it openly and publicly or push it on somebody else to celebrate it. But yeah, I mean, it's a chance for us to reflect. Do I think it's wrong that people do sales on Memorial Day? No. You do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my mindset's a little different on it, because I used to be a dickhead.
yeah.
I used to be that guy. And now, I mean, maybe it's older. Maybe I don't know. My give a fuck has changed. The only thing that I care about on Memorial Day is in regards to somebody else and what they're saying or doing. If you're thanking somebody that's alive, that's what Veterans Day is for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you are remembering somebody that is no longer here in any way, shape, or form, however you believe that is the way to do it, that's what that weekend is for. That's it. And that's the only thing that I care about when it comes down to that. What other people do, if they run sales, they barbecue, if they do this, they do that. Yeah. If they wish each other happy Memorial Day, hey, do whatever you need to do. But just remember that this weekend or that weekend is for remembering the fallen. Yeah.
I had sort of that conversation with my wife over Memorial Day weekend. We blew up a little pool in the backyard, and we grabbed the baby, and we're chilling in there. And she took some pictures and was going to post it on Instagram, and their caption said like "Happy Memorial Day," and she showed me. And I was like, if you want to post this is fine. Yeah. I personally I just don't like the happy. Like it can kind of come off. If you want to post it, that's fine. That's just me personally. And she was like, oh, I didn't think about that. I was like, I'm a big, it's all about intention. She's saying Happy Memorial Day because she gets to spend an extra day with me, and we're all together and we're hanging out and we're having a good time.
Absolutely.
That's what she's looking at it as.
Yep.
And I'm like, and that's like, I know it's not malicious, obviously. And I told her that, and she was like, oh, and she just pulled the happy off and was just like Memorial Day with the fam. And I was like, good to go. Yeah. Like but it's I think so much of it nowadays is just, I don't want to call it ignorance. It's just people aren't necessarily looking at it that far.
Right.
We're very invested in the veteran space.
Yep.
And so we have all of that knowledge and experience and everything. So it's like, all right, we look at it a little bit differently. And some people, once they hear it from that perspective, they're like, I get it. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is it's not necessarily an ignorance, because ignorance is, you could almost consider ignorance as like a willful lack of desire to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Whereas they just don't know.
Yeah.
And it's not because they don't care to know. It's because either they've they've never understood the actual process or the theory behind it or the stance behind it. And like one of the few things that annoys me when it comes to social media is the people are like, no, this day is for this day is for that. This is that day. And it's just like, you know, I mean, I kind of appreciate the posts. Like the one that I saw was like, he was like, hey, just, you know, FYSA, you know, and it was Veterans Day is for this. Armed Forces Day is for the people that are still serving in the uniform. Yeah. Memorial Day is for the people that never made it out.
Right.
And like that's great.
Yeah.
Like, because it lays it out simply. It makes it easy for everybody to track.
Yep. Now, my question for that person who posted that, are you saying that because you're trying to make a blanket statement, or are you saying that because you can't individually have these conversations with the amount of people that you want to? So you're trying to do a post in general. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that dude's doing it for fucking attention. You know, like,
because that kind of conversation is.
I would much rather have that conversation with every single person that uses it in the wrong context and be like, hey man, just so you know. Yeah. Right. Because seeing that post that comes off of that guy that just put, well, this day's for this and this day's for that, and you better not be doing this. And, you know, I hate the fucking people that are like, you know, what are you you're just going to barbecue and get drunk this weekend? Like, yeah, because my brother who's no longer here, he'd be fucking pissed at me if I didn't fucking do that. You know what I mean?
And if they were here, you'd be barbecuing and getting drunk with that
him.
Person. Yeah.
And like, remembering somebody else.
Absolutely. Like, I feel like there are certain conversations that obviously can't be had over the internet. And a conversation like that is a like, nah, like don't.
It's like, hey man, you got a sec for a phone call?
Exactly. Yeah. Like fucking just have the conversation. And I'm on full agreement also. Like if you're going to jump down someone's throat, you're also wrong. Yeah. Like it does not need to be an insult. If you're taking it as an insult, that's a fucking you problem. Like it is. People are still allowed to enjoy their day. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
So like the guy that posted that, I know him. Yeah. And I know that it was not, you know, it wasn't for the attention thing. Right. It was like, hey guys, like I see a lot of people that are like, it's not misunderstanding or misrepresenting, but it's somewhere in between the two. But it's just more like, hey, you know, here's all of the information.
Here's a breakdown for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the other things that I've noticed, and now that we're talking about this, it kind of makes sense in my brain. So when you travel to other countries, Nicaragua, not so much just because there's a language barrier. But if you travel to another country and you get into a conversation with someone that speaks English, and you ask them, how are you? Because that's what we do here. Hey, how are you?
Yes.
Right? And the answer is good. And then you go on to whatever else you're fucking saying.
Yeah.
These people actually sit there and they will legitimately answer your question.
Yeah.
Even other English speaking countries. Like, oh, I mean, I'm kind of okay, but I got some stuff going on and this, and you're like, what the fuck? That's not what I asked, man. Because in America, it's a greeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of the world, they don't do that. They don't waste words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I feel like that same thing. Like when you walk into a Walmart and you're going to go check out and you get to the counter and the lady at the counter is like, hey, how you doing? You're like, good. You're like, okay. And then they keep they proceed.
Nature.
All it is it's just a courteous greeting.
Yes.
Right. I feel like that's overflowed into things like Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
You know, because they're not. They might be wishing I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right. But it's kind of a somber day.
Well, and
depending on the person,
I think that plays into the inflection that the American language carries too. Like, because if I walk up to you, hey, how you doing? You know, and you're like, good. Yeah. You know, but if I like, hey, how
really doing?
Are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, then that opens that door to, all right, now it's time to crack those open a little bit, you know? And that's the thing, like that, it doesn't necessarily translate to a second language country.
Right.
Where, you know, here we're just like, we can put the inflection where we need it to be.
Yep.
And not have that misunderstanding or that misspoken.
Right.
I did kind of notice also, like when we were in Nicaragua, there wasn't a lot of like, I feel like here in the US, if you're passing by someone and it's like, if we make eye contact, now it's like, I have to say something.
Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
it's like,
No, they're going to stare at
they're
us.
going to stare. But it's also this, it's like, I don't need to say anything to you. If I'm just walking by you, I don't need to, it's not, but there it's not rude. Whereas here it could be construed as like, oh, he looked at me, but he didn't even give me like the little like nod or anything.
Right.
Like, it's like, fuck's that guy's problem. There it's just like, no, like I have
don't know
shit
who
I
you
gotta
are. I'm just
do.
walking
I'm
by.
fucking
Yeah.
passing by. Like, whereas here it's like, you gotta, I do that all the time. I feel compelled to be like, hey, how are you? Like
Yeah.
give some sort of
Right.
something. And I'm like, there
Well,
it's very much like, nope, I got places to be, shit to do. Like
That's the morning greetings whenever you come in and I'm
Yep.
out back doing fulfillment. It's like, what's up, my dude?
mhm,
You know, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. That's another day, man.
absolutely.
All right. Yep.
Yep.
Let's get after it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I like the Happy Memorial Day thing. Like, I think it falls more along those lines than it does of somebody like what else do you say?
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah.
You know?
Well, and one could even argue that Happy Memorial Day means, hey, I'm happy that you are remembering your fallen friends,
Right.
brothers.
Yeah. Like,
Like-
there's I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like there's bigger things in the world that people need to give a fuck about.
Oh,
and I know we
oh,
just spent
God,
10 minutes talking about this, but like, we do a podcast, so what we give a fuck about is way different than the rest of the world, but
Yeah,
like,
but that 10 minutes might make the difference for 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
That's good enough,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yeah, if you're getting mad over words on the internet, like, go get a hobby.
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that has always been my biggest grump, is the fact that like written words on the internet don't carry the inflection that's necessary. Like, I could say something, or I could post something with a grin on my face, and someone's gonna be like, "That motherfucker."
Yeah, there's no context.
No, there isn't.
What- no.
Like, you can't
the
have
right
that
word?
conversation face to face.
What's the right word?
Context,
inflection.
Inflection is kind of
Yeah.
what I gravitate towards, because it just
Yeah.
seems like it seems like it fits, because
There's no emphasis on how that is said.
Yeah.
Because how you say a sentence, how you speak a sentence
yes.
can hold different meanings.
Yes. Yeah. The Oxford comma memes are always the greatest for me, because that tells you like one comma somewhere in the same sentence can change the entire meaning of the sentence.
But it's not even that. It's like I can be like, Justin, you're a fucking asshole.
yeah.
Or I can be like, Justin, you're a fucking asshole.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Abs-
There's
yep.
no change in anything except for how I
Yes.
enunciated it.
I'm a habitual user of "that's insane,"
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that can have two drastically different contexts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but I will say I have become guilty of the whole like negative comments and shit, because I soak it in. So I am a big Houston Astros fan, and we are fucking hated in the major leagues.
You just hate yourself. Hey, you just hate yourself.
Hey, dude, we got fucking two
So
championships.
what are your sports teams?
The Houston Astros? I'm basically Houston. So
Yeah.
Houston Astros, Houston Texans, Houston Rockets.
Okay.
The Astros by far the most hated. But every time I'm scrolling social media and there's some Astros thing, I gotta hit the comments, because there's someone bitched about something. And just to me, I smile, because I'm like, we're living fucking rent free in these heads. But I have learned to like be like,
Yeah.
it's funny that people will take time out of their day
Yeah.
to talk shit in the comment section of a post about players that will never fucking read this. And
Yeah.
that's, they're like, nope, I'm doing something. And then there's,
And even if they do read it,
yeah, they're not fucking, who cares? Like, it's,
yeah.
and that's what's funny is I think people don't understand. Like, there are people that will leave hate comments on massive creators and companies and all this shit. And it's like, that's getting to the social media manager, and odds are that's
Yeah.
the fucking people that are running whatever organization don't have time to scroll the comment section of anything.
Right.
Like, it's not making it to them. Someone's reading it and going, I'm not interacting with that one, and scrolling on to the next comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not doing anything.
Unless you're Wendy's.
That's true. Boy.
Wendy's Twitter is gold.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
And like, even at Warfighter, we will only respond to those if we can make you look like a fucking idiot. That is, if you want to be an asshole, odds are we're going to ignore it. And then, or if it's set up, if you set us up with a fucking T-ball right there.
Yeah.
like,
we've never had to use it.
mm,
But I think it was probably 2 years ago when you and I had the conversation, and I'm like,
Yeah.
gloves off.
yeah.
Like Wendy's Twitter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The good thing about our customer base is 99% of the time we don't have to say a word.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like we'll see something and we're like, fuck, you know what? I'll see what it does in an hour. We'll look back at it and we're like, oh, self-corrected.
Yep.
Thank you guys. So big shout out to all the customers out there who look at our social media and engage in the comments and then correct people when they're either uneducated or misinformed.
Mm-hmm.
Or just straight up being a dick.
Yeah, I mean, either way, collectively, all of them. Even with spam, like it's kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you know, social media for a company is almost it's its own position, its own job.
Yeah.
You know, like Wendy's Twitter, they pay some guy a full-time salary, and all he does is run that social media account.
Yep.
Like.
Yeah.
It's if you're trying to stay active and engaged in the algorithm and where you need to be, like you're 8-10 hours a day minimum, you know?
And even then it's
and you're still
there.
missing stuff.
Oh yeah. You're missing stuff. Like I get bad sometimes by managing the Warfighter like inbox and stuff. Like for all you guys that post pictures and tag us on social media, y'all are fucking gangsters. We thoroughly appreciate you. That's on me every now and then.
And me.
And
Scott, like it's collectively, it's on all of us. It's a lot. And, you know, with everything that we have going on, you know, with our own projects and jobs within Warfighter, and especially lately with all the travel that we've had and events that we've been doing and things like that, you know, there's stuff that falls through the cracks when it comes down to social media. You know, if it's a legitimate thing, and you can't get a hold of us, shoot us an email, info@warfightertobacco.com.
Yeah, I stay on top of those.
That and every one of us has access to that email. The social media stuff, like I had a conversation this morning, I don't know if you saw it or not, with a company that makes patches.
I did, yeah.
They slid into our DMs.
Yep.
Trying to sell us patches. And so first off, I was like, okay, I'll entertain you just to see where you're at. I'm like, cool, what's your pricing? So they gave me pricing on 50 patches and 100 patches. I was like, I was like, cool. How much for 1,000?
Yeah.
Like we'll start there.
Yeah.
Then they gave me a price on 1,000. And I was like, okay. I was like, for one, I'm like, that's a joke. I was like, that you said it was just this much per 1,000. You're astronomically priced. And by the way, just to give you a little bit of heads up for, you know, future business that you'd like to do, try using appropriate business channels like emails or phone calls or, you know, mailers to the corporate headquarters, you know, for attention with the correct department that you need to speak with. Sliding into my DMs is reserved for, what did I write? Let me pull it up because I don't want to misquote this because it was very important.
I saw the initial message come in and then I saw that they liked the message we sent. I was like, oh, John's got this one.
It was for just X amount of money. And I'm like, nah, I'm all set. You're way too expensive. Also, just a note, maybe try reaching out to companies via appropriate business channels like emails and phone calls. Sliding into my DMs is for hussies and customer service. And even with the customer service stuff, we have an auto email or auto message that sends back that says, hey, thanks for reaching out. We're trying to get back to you as soon as we can. If you need an answer right away, email us at info@warfightertobacco.com. Yeah. I mean, what do we have? We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Rumble,
TikTok.
I think we have a LinkedIn. You know, and then we have our website, then we have our emails. Like that's a lot of inboxes to monitor to find a guy that says, hey man, my blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
and we're getting the hard part about like the DMs and stuff too is like we'll have people that'll like be smoking a Warfighter, take a picture, tag us. That gets dropped in the DMs. Like everything gets stacked up in there. Whereas if you shoot us an email and you title it like customer service question or something,
we're on top of that.
Yeah, you're gonna get a way quicker and more efficient way of response that way. Whereas if you send us a DM, we're gonna go, all right, man, email us at work. Like, it's just quicker to go through email.
Yeah.
But if you're snapping pictures of your Warfighter tobacco,
keep doing it. Keep tagging.
Yes,
we'll keep sharing them.
Absolutely, it's fucking awesome.
We like them.
Seeing them in the wild.
I just wish stories were up for more than 24 hours.
Yeah. Sometimes I see these pictures, I'm like, damn, that's fucking sick. Like, but it's been cool seeing. We've been getting a bunch more growth and responses on Twitter too, which is very cool. Twitter's kind of the Wild West right now, so they're not slapping peepees when it comes to tobacco as much. So that's been nice, but it's been cool seeing everybody taking their humidors out in the wild, getting outside to smoke with the nice weather coming around. So keep tagging us in
funny. Let's talk about that for a sec.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of time left. Because I've had some conversations with shops, and we pretty much from the start of Warfighter, I've always had that tagline to get outside and smoke. I'm a huge proponent of being outside, of being in nature, in sunlight, on ground, like not walking on pavement, not in buildings, not in climate control. You know, like I just, for me, it's I don't know. It's what humans were designed to do. We weren't designed and built to be in air conditioning, sitting in a chair behind a desk for our entire lives. Like we were designed to migrate and travel, 15, 20 miles a day in search of food or wherever we need. And for somehow over the course of thousands of years, we've reclused to buildings and chairs. But so I started that tagline a long time ago. And, when Justin took over doing all the social media, we had a conversation about using those and stuff like that. And I had a couple shops that were like, hey man, why don't you say, go to your local shop and smoke? I was like, well, that's kind of
the opposite.
Assumed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, but my mindset behind the get outside and smoke is that guy might not have a lounge local.
Yeah.
Or he might not have the ability to do it, but he can step outside anywhere.
Yeah.
And like, yes, we love our retail partners and we want to drive traffic to you guys and we want everyone to go buy cigars from them and hang out there. And some of these shops are fucking amazing. They're so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
But all you have to do is step outside.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that if you go outside and you have a cigar, whether it's hot or cold, when you're done, you're going to be in a better mood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, same happens when you go into a cigar lounge 99% of the time.
Yeah.
There's that 1% where you're like, man, that guy wouldn't shut the fuck up. But like all that it is enjoy your cigar. Right? I like to enjoy mine outside.
Yeah.
And if you can't enjoy it outside, like, well, maybe you can move somewhere else.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is just being on the water. Because when you're on the water, typically most people don't take the phone with you. You're not trying to drown your phone. Like all that shit gets left wherever your shit is. And then you're just in the water.
Yeah.
You're with friends or family and you're just hanging out, talking. We went down to the river last weekend and we were there for like 4 or 5 hours. Nice. And it went by like in a blink of an eye because we were just having fun, hanging out, talking the whole nine. And it was just like, oh, that was so refreshing. Like just getting outside, getting some fresh air, getting the nice water. Fucking, oh, it was so nice.
Yeah, I went down to the Womack Ranch this past weekend. We did a charity cook-off, barbecue cook-off that benefited Intrepid Care. So it was a 2-day cook. We judged Friday night. We judged all day Saturday. We judged all day Sunday. And then a lot of people left Sunday afternoon, evening. And I was like, no, I'm hanging out. I'm staying the night. I'll leave, Monday mid to late afternoon. And they were like, fucking sweet. Awesome. So it was a long weekend. We put in a lot of work. So Monday morning, I wake up. One of the guys got up kind of early, packed up all his stuff, left. He had a little drive ahead of him. I would go down to the main house where everybody else is, and I walk in, and I mean, crickets. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. And now, mind you, there's the people that are staying in that house. They have kids. One's got a newborn, not even a year. We were up late. It was a long weekend, like busy, long and hot. And so I walk in there and everybody's still racked the fuck out. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Pour a cup of coffee, grab my humidor, jump in the buggy. And I went down all the way down the levee to the river. And I just backed up to the river, sat there, grabbed my coffee, lit a cigar, and just not a soul around me.
Yeah.
No phone, no music, no nothing. Just sitting at the river having a cigar.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is what I fucking needed this weekend. Like I needed this 45 minutes right here was worth all the headache, the sweat, the drama, everything that happened and went on and the planning and everything. Like that made it all worth it.
Yeah.
It's just getting outside and having that one cigar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to just leave the phone, walk away from it for even an hour.
It's hard.
And it's so like, and like I used to do the smartwatch thing and I got rid of it because I kept feeling like I had to keep looking at it and fiddling with it and shit like that. And I went back to an analog. And just not having that electronic leash.
Right.
And, even like there's been times to not even have a cigar. Like I'll leave it in the house and I'll just go sit out back.
Yep.
Let the dog run around, be a dog and just fucking stop everything for a little bit.
Yeah. I got rid of my Apple. Well, I didn't get rid of it. I still have it. I just don't wear it right now.
Yeah.
And I'm using my Garmin, my dive computer,
Yeah.
because it's also a smartwatch. But the way I have it set up is I can't do anything on my watch. I get a notification.
Yeah. You get I'll get to that later.
And that's it. So I can be like, okay, nope, hold on, that's important. Or I can just be like, fuck that phone.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's hurt society and cigar culture in general.
I agree.
I like going to lounges where they have the charging stations away from where you smoke because, and like I was talking to somebody, I don't remember where it was. It was a month or two ago. I was at a shop somewhere and he made the comment, I made the comment, like, he's like, I'm trying to figure out how to get people off their phones. It's like, give them 10% off if they leave their phone on the counter. We're like, make them sit on the couch, put their phone on the counter, put it on the charging stand on the other end of the room.
Yeah.
Like everybody's got a smartwatch of some form or another now. If it's a call that they need to take, then they can take it. But otherwise, get in the moment and enjoy your cigar.
Yeah.
I
feel like phones and technology have helped and hurt.
Yeah.
They've helped because it gives you have reach, right?
Yeah.
More people than just your immediate population can experience or see what's going on.
Yes.
But the way it hurts is what you were just saying. The good thing though is there's a large percentage of cigar shops that you go in and people may be on their phone, but they're engaging in a conversation of some sort.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to begin to try to get a shop to try to get people off their phones.
Yeah.
Because it's the opposite of what you're trying to curate an experience for a customer to give them a reason to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If I walk into a shop and like there's some shops where you walk in and they anticipated every single customer's need. There's ashtrays and lighters and cutters, literature, magazines or books. You have comfortable chairs. Ashtrays are strategically placed where you don't really have to do anything to get to it. They typically have soda, water, candies available, whether it's for free or for purchase. Phone chargers or charging stations, Wi-Fi, TVs, music. They go above and beyond in some of these places to make that experience for the consumer. I wonder if it would be like an electronic free, like, they have like a members lounge.
Yeah.
They could do like an electronic free lounge. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like they have like the little what do they call them?
The Faraday bags?
Yeah, but they have like
Yeah.
the banks, the boxes where you have like little keys and stuff, you know?
like a locker wall.
Yeah, like when any secure room or skiff that you walk into has that on the outside. You just put it in, take the key, come back, take it out. Maybe do that.
Well,
I don't know. I'm spitballing to this.
Yeah,
I have no
and
idea.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like if you figure out a way to incentivize them to disconnect for the time that they're there, I think it would be interesting from a social aspect just to see like how that networking would increase or decrease.
Yeah.
By removing the, hey, let me check this real quick,
right.
type thing. Like I've kind of gotten in the habit where like I'll get somewhere and I'll turn my phone face down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, and you've seen it. Like this thing's lit up a half dozen times while we've just been doing this for the last hour.
Mine fucking it's nonstop.
Oh yeah, but you got 5,000 friends and 48,000 followers and this, that, and the other thing. You've got all the notifications of everything that comes with running a business.
Right.
You have to deal with. So
I've been utilizing the do not disturb feature a lot.
Past 9 o'clock, you can't access me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got mine set at 9 o'clock also.
There's a handful, like all of us in this room and a handful of other people I have. So if like there's a legit emergency, it'll come through.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if one of you guys or anybody else, collectively in Warfighter or my family that's calling me past 9 o'clock, it's not because it's like, hey man, quick question for you.
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
Yeah. But it's just nice shutting off like the social media notifications and like all that shit. Like it's nice just being like, I don't need to have my phone with me because even if something's trying to come through, it's not going to. Like it just makes it that much easier to kind of leave it somewhere.
Like I feel bad. I've been ignoring my personal social medias for about a month now. So like oh, that's Warfighter. I was like, why are all those red? Like, I don't even know how many messages that I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got fuck. I can just keep scrolling.
Yeah, sorry. You probably got at least a half dozen from me.
Oh, there's probably 80 or 100 unread messages on my Instagram. And I don't even know about Facebook or anything. Like, if it catches my eye, I'll engage with it. But like, it's a lot. Fuck, Mikey sends me 100 reels a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm that way though, because social media is part of my job. By the time I get home or something, I'm like, I'm fucking. Oh yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to look at this shit.
Yeah,
it's. I don't know. Like I almost want to go back to the time where
I want a flip phone.
It was and that's the thing. Like I want to go back to the time where it was like, hey, I don't have my phone. Leave me a message and I'll get back to you when I get home.
Mm-hmm.
Like we grew up with landlines. Like, we had bag phones. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen what a bag phone is, but it's a Motorola bag phone. It was a full-size handset with a battery pack in a leather bag.
And a cord.
Like, it had a fucking cord. And like, that was the first cellular telephone I ever saw. And it was because my grandfather had one in his Caterpillar when he was out.
That one. My mom had one in the car. It was $1 a minute.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. My grandfather had one in his Caterpillar bulldozer when he was out in the field. And that was specifically if he broke down and needed fuel or something like that. Like he could call the shop and have fuel brought out.
And it was funny because I remember specifically when we got this. We got this when my sisters were born because fuck me. Right? Who cares if something happens if I'm in the car? But if once my sisters are there, now we got to call someone.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You would have taken care of it.
That's the thing. So Cellular One.
Yep.
That was the first company that I had a cell phone from.
$36. I think thing cost $1,000 back in the day.
Yeah, it did. And that was $1,000 35 years ago.
Yeah. It was expensive.
Yeah.
That's the price of an iPhone today.
So $1,000 adjusted for inflation was probably like $2,500.
You used to be able to get a Nokia flip phone for $99.
Yeah.
That's a deal.
All day, every day.
That's a deal.
Like full price. That wasn't on sale. Promo, you just get it free. They gave it to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you signed up for a year contract at $35 a month.
Phone.
You got a free
Didn't
phone.
matter.
Fuck. Hey,
Yep.
The first cell phone I ever had was a Nokia 918.
the tank.
Yeah.
The tank.
Like, and I'm sure that if
If you still had it today, it would turn on and still work.
oh, well, I don't know if it would still work because I doubt that it would connect or have the ability to connect to any network now. But
I watched
It's just a phone call.
yeah,
It's not like you scroll the internet on it.
That's true.
I
I could play Snake.
know, right?
I watched a video of these guys that like set up helicopter blades and they dropped one of the Nokia phones on it.
Yeah.
And they went and picked it up and the dude was like, "Nope, I'm still playing Snake." And I was just like, "What the fuck?"
It just bounces
Yeah.
off the blade.
Yeah.
So they made a leather protective case for the 918, and it was to protect whatever it fell on.
Ah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fucking trip down memory lane right there.
Seriously.
But that's the thing, like, we've gone from that to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Pocket
and now we're constantly connected to everything. Like, yeah, I mean,
But it's super cool on the flip side of the
Yeah.
same coin. There's so many people that we've got to engage with or meet or
oh, absolutely.
do something with or project or have on the podcast or whatever solely because of the connections via social
Oh.
media. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? But like I said, that was a flip side of that coin.
I think it's still very much like the balance is key. Finding the balance
Absolutely.
of
Yes.
like, oh no, this is when I should be using
Yeah.
it and everything, and then there needs to be a time where you just fucking
Yeah.
shut it all off.
Yeah, like I mean, when I get home, like I might doom scroll for an hour in the evening before I go to bed, but I really just try to stay off of my phone unless it's a notification or something, and I'll check it out. I'll be like, yeah, whatever. I'll deal with that later.
I have 2 games that I play to shut my brain off. Because I found that works way better than doom scrolling on social media. Because I can doom scroll, next thing you know, it's like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Shit. Right. I play these games and fucking the phone falling on my face in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I think I have games on my phone, but I think they came on the phone.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've downloaded a game for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
I did the bubble shoot because that was kind of the same thing. It was
Yeah.
just like, I need something to kill 20 minutes. Okay, bubble shoot.
Yep.
But yeah, and Justin, you're right. Like, you have to be able to be like, all right, this needs to be done for a little while. Like, I don't even care. Like, I don't have anything else to do,
Mm-hmm.
but this is not what I'm going to do because I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
If you have an iPhone, and I don't know, Android might do it too, but I don't have an Android, so I can't speak for that.
Oh,
If you have an iPhone, you can go into your settings and you can scroll around in there and you can find a little section area that's called screen time.
yeah.
And it tells you how much time you spend using each one of your apps.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
I'm going to warn you when you look at this. It's going to shock you.
Yeah. Well, you don't realize it.
No, you don't.
You spend 45 minutes every couple hours on Facebook. Throughout the course of a day, you spent 4 hours on Facebook. You're like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
You're like, man, there's not enough time in the day. How come I
Yeah.
can't get all this stuff done? Look at that. Look at the screen time on your phone. That's why you can't get anything
Yeah.
done.
I did that somewhat recently, and the one that scared me was the number. I don't remember. It was some crazy number, but it was YouTube, and I was like, Jesus Christ! And I was like, oh.
No, it sits there playing in the background.
Yeah, that's- I'm
Well-
one of those weirdos where I can't have like dead silence, and like,
Yeah.
because then if I have dead silence, it's like I'm like, oh, but what about this and this?
Yep.
Oh, and then that,
Yeah.
and then this and this. But if I just have like a podcast going or something, then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's and that's the difference though. Like, you have to.
It calms the noise.
yes.
Yeah, and you weigh the versatility or the usability of that as opposed to what it is. Like,
Mhm.
for me, it's Pandora because it's there's some music in the background and I'm just
Yeah.
there's background noise and I'm still doing my shit. Like, how many times do you come in the morning? There's music playing while I'm wrapping up the shipping.
Oh, fucking every morning.
Honestly,
Honestly, though, I would think it would be weirder if you were just back there in silence.
yeah.
Like if you were just back there in complete silence, packaging stuff,
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Is Dave okay?" Like,
Well, and
He's
there are
going postal today.
yeah.
well, I already told you took the mag out before I brought the gun.
Tampon.
I'm just standing up front and be like, come on, motherfuckers. No, you know, and that's the thing. Like you need to understand, do you use it for good or do you use it to just not do what you need to do?
Yeah.
You know,
Is it a tool or a distraction?
Exactly. Yes. Again, making word better. On the slip side of that.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you're 100% correct when
Yeah.
it comes down to that, because it could be either.
Yes.
And it just depends on how you use it. Because, you know, we're all guilty of it. Like, I know that my phone has squirreled me a fucking million times,
Oh yeah.
you know? But then I've
Yeah.
also been like, oh man, thank God I had this.
Yes.
Like, you know?
And it's so noticeable when you're going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like how many times you've been like, oh, I'm going to hit the head. And the next thing you know, it's fucking 20, 25 minidminutes later. And you're just
Yeah.
like, this fucking TikTok, man. I swear it makes me time travel. Like,
Then again, it's like, man, I don't remember ever pooping before I had a cell phone.
I do, but that's because I was flipping through the Cabela's catalog.
Or reading the back of a shampoo bottle.
Yeah. It used to sit on the back of the toilet. We had a stack of like fishing magazines and hunting magazines and shit like that. And that was
That's
like that was what you did.
Yeah.
You know? You're
I
like,
still, I mean, both my bathrooms downstairs have
Yeah.
magazines in them.
when
yeah,
we
you
shot,
got a stack of Dan magazines
Yeah.
on the downstairs one.
when we shot the Cinco de Mayo video and I used your guest bathroom, I was just like, oh, that's kind of old school right there. If you think about it, like
Yeah. Well,
magazines by the toilet.
It's got Diver Alert or Diver Alert
Yeah.
News and
Diver
then,
Alert Network.
Field Ethos.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know the funny part about it is they came in the mail and they sat on the island in my kitchen for like probably a month.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I going to do with these?
Right
Like,
to the
I'll
toilet.
throw them in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, for when I forget my phone. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, here we go. You know,
Odds are, if I tell you, oh, I saw this TikTok about this thing, odds are I saw that well on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's most likely.
that's the meme that shows up every once in a while. It's like this many likes came from people on the toilet, and it's an arrow pointing down. You're like,
Yeah.
You know what I might
that's
do?
accurate.
You know what I might? So the bathrooms in my house have true vents. They actually vent outside.
Oh.
Right. There's a lot of places that they don't. I don't know where they vent to, but it does not end outside of the building.
Yeah.
That's concerning.
Like it'll go in the attic or something. Like I don't know, but I crawled in my attic and tracked all the pipes just to make sure. Like I was like, oh, that's good to know. You know.
Yeah.
So now if I ever have an issue,
Yep.
it's not just like, oh, well, that doesn't go anywhere. I should just put like a little humidor in each bathroom
Oh.
because there's a fan in it. Right?
That's
You're going to spend 45
true.
minutes in there. You might as well at least have a cigar. It might help speed the process up.
Fuck. Just a bunch of
Yeah,
packs
but-
of Minutemen in there.
Yeah.
The cigar is what normally starts the reason for going to the bathroom.
No, I know, but imagine you walked into somebody's house to use the restroom.
And there was a little
There's a little-
freestanding 20
yeah.
count.
There's just a little like a little stand with like a small humidor, a lighter and a cutter, and like a little like TP folded printed paper that's like, enjoy your cigar. You know?
That would be fucking legendary.
I'd probably sit there and light a cigar up
Yeah.
and what are you gonna say when I get done?
Yeah. Took you a while. Well, I was finishing my stick.
I had a
Yeah.
cigar.
Yeah, I was.
You know what?
I was done. I was
Cigars.
done 20 minutes ago, but I wasn't going to put down half a cigar.
Yeah. Cigar is a better word than stick to use in that scenario.
Yeah.
That's on me. That's on me.
Huh.
If you had one of the medicine cabinets that you just repurposed into a humidor, that'd be fucking awesome. Oh, John's wheels are turning.
I'm trying to think of what you call it. Because like you have shower beers. You know, like
Shit stick.
That was a great insult 20 years ago, too.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh.
Now I need to go shop for stands for my bathrooms. That's awesome. Why is it today that we thought of this?
Better late than never.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, shit.
I think we might have run out of things to talk about.
I don't know. I could keep going down that rabbit hole about shit sticks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other alternative benefit to that is it would mitigate the smell, too.
That's what I mean. It's all positives in my book.
Very
I don't
true.
see any negatives here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll end on that note.
Yeah.
So for all listeners out there, let us know if shit sticks are a thing or not. Do you think that would work? I mean,
I'm 100% on board.
Well,
I like this. I like this idea. We might.
you could even stack that onto your get outside and smoke too.
Get inside and shit. Preferably in a bathroom. Yeah, let us know if you think that's a fun idea or if it's just dumb. I half my ideas are dumb.
Go get your redacteds on the 1st.
Yeah, redacted.
Yeah.
1st of June, redacted cigars, warfightertobacco.com. Every 5 cigars you buy, you get a free redacted. Every 10 you get 2, 15 you get 3, box you get 4, so on and so forth.
Go see Scott tonight and tomorrow.
Yes, if you're in Colorado area, he is at 3D Cigars on Saturday, and he's at El Cid's tonight on Friday.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks, I will be at Historic Smoke in Culpeper, Virginia. We also have a couple other things coming up. We'll be putting those out on our social media. If you're not following that, you're wrong. Warfighter Tobacco on pretty much everything. And yeah, June 1st, warfightertobacco.com. Free redacted cigars. There's a big banner on there too that explains how all of this works. So without further ado, we're gonna get back to work.
Yeah.
Let's do it, boys.
You guys got anything else? No?
No.
Awesome.
I'm good.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.